It's time. It's time to talk about Big Dumper, aka Cal Raleigh. Maybe it should be Cal Raleigh, aka Big Dumper. Doesn't really matter. We are going to talk about, quite frankly, one of my favorite Mariners, Mr. Cal Raleigh. But before we talk about that, we're going to talk about my favorite clothing store, Simply Seattle. Simply Seattle provides the very best in Seattle sports gear. Awesome stuff for your Mariners, your Kraken, your Seahawks, Huskies, Sounders, Storm, Cougars. You can find it all at simplyseattle.com. Once you find all your goodies, use code MOLLYWOP15 to save 15% off of your order. MOLLYWHOP15. Great deal from great people. Link in the description to make it nice and easy for you. But again, www.simplyseattle.com and code MOLLYWOP15. So Cal Raleigh appears in 145 games, 569 plate appearances. He hits 232, 306, 456, 30 homers, 75 RBI, product more about people necessarily not getting on ahead of him. But, the figure is what the figure is. That's an OPS plus of 112. I was actually surprised to see that his numbers are by OPS worse than last year, 774 in 2022. But he's another guy that I think we talked about, that step forward crap was nonsense for the team. I do think Cal Raleigh took a step forward last year. And I think he's got a chance to be a special baseball player. He's pretty darn good right now. I think he has a chance to be special. There's just so much talent here. And the fact he's only 27 years old, and I think he does have a skill set that's not going to necessarily deteriorate. We'll talk about one thing that might. I just think he has a chance to be special. Let's take a look at the Savant page because there's, some stuff that's not great. Expected batting average of 233, 20th percentile. Chase percentage, that's got to get better. 31.4, that's only in the 30th percentile. Swung and missed 29.9% of the time. Struck out 27.8% of the time. Those are not great numbers. But expected slugging percentage in the 77th percentile. Barreled the baseball 83. I wish he barreled the baseball 83% of the time. Barreled the baseball 12.6% of the time, which is 83rd in the percentile ranks. Connected on that sweet spot 36.5% of the time. Those are good numbers. Those are really strong numbers, especially when you consider how good Cal Raleigh is defensively. And it's worth pointing out his first half, I wouldn't say it was bad luck, but there were signs that a breakout was happening, even when the numbers weren't great. First half of the year, he plays in 77 games. He has a 703 OPS. Not very good. Not horrible, but not very good. From the All-Star break on, 313 on base percentage, 512 slugging, 825 OPS with 19 homers. That's really good. The couple months that he struggles are in May, 724 OPS, and that's not really struggling. It's just not elite by any stretch. June was a problem. June, he had a 625 OPS. But in July, it's 838. In August, it's 864. September, 710, as that September was just such a bummer. Such a bummer for a lot of reasons. Some personal, some just watching the Mariners play. That was disappointing. But I can't forget the version I saw in July and August. And of course, I just can't forget the version that I've seen of Cal Raleigh since he was a prospect at Florida State. He was one of my favorite players, and I was shocked that more people didn't agree with me in the industry. I thought he should have been a late first-round pick. And to be honest, he's better than I anticipated, too. But he falls to the third round. Didn't have a great junior year. And he develops pretty darn quickly. And he gets the call in 2021, and he was awful. As many rookie players are. Baseball is extremely hard. But even in that terrible stretch of rookie play, you could see there was something. the talent to at least be more than organizational depth. Someday, maybe be a starter. In 2022, he gets off to that dreadful start, gets sent down, only gets to call it because of injury. And he was as important a player as any for their success in 2022. And I think the same could be said for 2023. Now, he does need to improve on some stuff, like that chase rate. He's got to be better. For somebody who walks as often as he does, he shouldn't be swinging at pitches outside the strike zone that much. That's a weird little correlation, but that'll certainly help. The main thing I'm really optimistic about with Cal Raleigh is I think he's just starting to tap into that power. I would not be shocked if this was a guy who someday led baseball in homers. Hit 30 last year. The expected slugging suggests maybe he should have had a few more. But I believe in that guy's pop as much as any Seattle Mariner outside of Julio. Darning with faint praise a little bit based on what the current lineup is. Yeah. But you watch Cal Raleigh hit, and there's no doubt that this guy is 80 grade pop now and a chance for 40 to 45, maybe even 50 homer seasons. That may seem like hyperbole. It's really not. And then on top of all of that, you talk about his defense. And it's interesting, Baseball Reference, which is what we've been using for the stats, and because it's just a little bit easier to sort and yada, yada, yada. All due respect to Fangraphs, and I love a lot of people there. It's just a little easier for me to sort. Fangraphs actually doesn't love his defense last year. I vehemently disagree. There were a few too many errors. You don't usually see catchers in the double digits. I think he was in the double digits. If he wasn't in the double digits, he was awfully close. Don't have the defensive exact numbers in front of me, but doesn't really matter. You watch that guy, and also Baseball Savant suggests that he wasn't very good at blocking the baseball. Vehemently disagree there too. Not Pudge Rodriguez or anything like that, but pretty darn solid with a very good throwing arm. And that was such a huge development too in the second half of the year. The Mariners did such a better job of holding runners and giving Raleigh a chance to throw guys out. Because you guys remember, with these new rules, people were running wild, and Mariner pitchers didn't give a you-know-what about holding them. Or at least that's how it seemed. But he was so much better. They were so much better, and they gave Raleigh a chance to show off that arm. And that was massive. Massive for run prevention. He is a very good thrower. It's kind of funny. I was talking to a scouting buddy of mine, and we were just talking about the Mariner roster, and he said, I would think about trading Big Dumper while his value is high. And I was like, really? He said, yeah, there's a couple reasons. Number one, I don't think the Mariners are going to be able to sign him to an extension. I can't disagree with that. And number two, a lot of Cal Raleigh's value, according to sabermetrics, is in his ability to frame the baseball. And this guy's pretty sure we're going to get robot umpires in the next couple of years. And he wonders how valuable Cal Raleigh will be when he is unable to provide that value for framing, because framing won't mean crap. You can't fool a robot. Robot might get one wrong here and there, but you can't fool a robot. I get that to a point, and especially I get the contract thing too, because I hate to say it, I don't think Cal Raleigh will be in Seattle at the end of his contract. Obviously, he won't be. When the contract ends, he's not a member of the Mariners. I don't think Cal Raleigh is going to sign an extension with the Mariners. Some of it geographical, some of it other stuff. Hope I'm wrong. I want Cal Raleigh to be in Seattle for his entire career, and I would be willing to pay a hefty amount, especially since it's not my money. I'd be willing to pay a hefty amount to make sure that's true. I don't think that is. That being said, I don't worry about his value deteriorating just because there's no framing. Because I think he is such a solid receiver of the baseball with a strong throwing arm, a terrific work ethic, and that only means so much. Your body's going to deteriorate. There's a reason why people move people off the catching position. And I think Cal Raleigh, if, heaven forbid, needed to move off catcher, there could still be value in that bat because of that pop. And because I do believe in that approach, even with the swings outside of the strike zone. 61 percentile in baseball savant walk rate tells you that he's a patient hitter. Value obviously drops precipitously if he moves to first base or designated hitter. But I still think he can be a valuable player. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I believe in Cal Raleigh's defense as much as any Seattle Mariner outside of Julio. Darning with faint praise a little bit there again. But he's such a good receiver. Pitchers love throwing to him. That arm is a weapon. And right now, while we don't have the robot umpires, I can't think of anyone. I think whatever the numbers say, I don't think there's anyone better at framing the baseball. He's so quick and does such a good job of that just slight maneuver into the strike zone. So long story short, I was a little disappointed in Cal Raleigh's 2023 season, excuse me. I don't know if you could possibly be disappointed in his 2022 season. A little disappointed, but that has to do with expectations, which we've talked about ad nauseum. And I don't think it's really anything. The numbers just weren't there. They were good. They were very good. But I kind of expect greatness from Cal Raleigh. I've been high on him for a long time. So my level of expectation is not the same as everybody else. But I just expect such big things from him. Big things from my sweet big dumper. And I really hope I'm wrong about the extension stuff. I would just adore seeing him be a Seattle Mariner forever. He is one of my favorites. He might be my favorite Mariner to watch. And I love Julio. I love my son. I love Kirby and Castillo and all those guys. There are some good players on the Seattle Mariners. I wish there were more. But there are some good players. But I think Cal Raleigh might be my favorite right now. Agree? Disagree? Leave a comment. Please hit like and subscribe. It's so appreciated. It helps me so very, very much. Tell your friends, all that good stuff. I think this will be the last video until after the holidays. So if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you're doing, just hey, happy December 25th and 26th. If you are not someone who participates, I totally understand. This holiday season has been awful for me. Awful. Miss my mom a lot of other stuff going on. And finally, before I end this video, shout out to my buddy Bayani. You know who you are. Hi, buddy. Thanks so much for watching all these videos. We'll talk again soon. I'm sorry about using Big Dumper again because some people don't like it.